Hi, everybody, and welcome to our next set of videos or lecture notes. So I want to do a few different examples here, and the first one is just kind of a basic calculation problem with finding the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and variance. And these are things that we have seen already before. And I want to do this first example actually in Excel. So I know you have videos on Excel already, but I thought it'd be good to practice one more time and kind of do this all in one shot. You can also do this by hand, of course, as well. And we've done quite a few examples in class doing these by hand too. So you're welcome to do that as well. But once we get going, it's better, I think, to start to use technology. It'll just save you some time with the calculations. So the example we have here are the ages of the Supreme Court justices as of December 22nd, 2016. So again, this data is a bit old now. It's about, 7 years old anyway. And these were the ages at that time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 justices that were in the court on December 22nd, 2016. And when you do calculations for standard deviation and variance, don't forget you need to know if you have population or if you have sample data. I will tell you, in case you're not familiar, that this actually is population data. On December 22nd, 2016, these were the justices that were on the Supreme Court. So you have every single age accounted for at that time. So this actually is population data. And again, it's important to know that distinction for standard deviation and variance. So I'm going to go to Excel and I'm going to type this data points in. So I'm just going to give a quick title for ages. And then I'm going to type them in. So the first one was 61, 80, 68, 83, 78, 66, 62, and 56. And again, it doesn't hurt to just double check before you go through all the work and find out you've made some mistakes. So those look good. And again, what we're going to find here, we're looking for the mean, we're looking for the median, we're looking for the mode, the standard deviation, and the variance. And don't forget, we've already mentioned that this is population data because I have all ages of the members of the Supreme Court at that time. So I have everybody, so it's population data. All right, so this is a great time to pause the video and see if you remember any of these commands. The first command is for mean, and the one we use for mean is actually the average formula. Remember, in Excel, every single calculation, whether it's a formula that's pre-programmed like average or median, mode, etc., or one that you create yourself, has to start with an equal sign. So I type equal sign first. And then for the mean, the one that you're using is average. And you want the one that says just average. So we double click it, and then we're going to go ahead and select our data. So what I'm doing there is I'm just holding down my mouse and dragging it. And then when I'm done, I'm going to click enter. And that would be the mean. So again, the formula there is called average with an equal sign first. For median, again, we start with an equal sign, and this one actually is just called median. So you can start typing in that word. We double click on the formula, and then we hold our mouse down and drag while we highlight the entire data set. When we're done, we release our mouse and hit enter, and we can see that the median is 67. So the name of the formula there was median. Next, for mode, you can start typing in mode. I like to use mode multi because it will typically give you, if there is more than one mode, it will give you all of them. Although just double check as well. Sometimes I've had issues with Excel only giving the first one, but this one should be working. And again, we're going to select our data, and then we're going to go ahead and click enter. Now, here's an interesting one, because we're getting NA. So what's happening here is that Excel is telling us there is no mode. So if I look at all my data points here, there are none that repeat. They're all just singular data points. So there is no mode here, and that is actually what will happen. You'll see some sort of error command in Excel if it's not going to work. For standard deviation, the format is STDEV. And again, don't forget there's two versions we use, .p and .s. Because we have population data, we're going to use .p here. So I'm going to double click that one. And otherwise, the process is the same. We hold down our mouse, we select the data, and we hit enter. And then for variance, we also start typing in variance. And you're looking for the ones that are either var.p or var.s. So var.p is for population, .s is for sample. Those are the two that we will be using. And next to the formulas, you also see a description, right? It says calculates the variance based on the entire population. So this is the one we're looking for. We double click it. I'm going to select that data and hit enter again. So here are all of our values. But don't forget we're doing ages here. So for mean, this is the mean age, so a little over 69 years. This is the median age at 67 years. Standard deviation is about 9.3 years. And just don't forget for variance, the units are squared, right? Because it's basically the square of the standard deviation. So it's 86 square years. As awkward as that is, that would be how we calculate that there. So that is a way that you can get those calculations pretty quickly. If you learn nothing else in Excel, I really recommend learning at least the mean and the standard deviation, as well as how to sort the data. So don't forget, we can sort the data by highlighting. If we just have one single column, highlighting that column, going up to data, and then if we click the one that says A to Z, it will sort it for us in order. So if you can learn those three skills, sorting, and then some basic formulas, particularly mean and standard deviation, those are two that we're going to keep using over and over again throughout the course. It will definitely make the homework a lot faster for you. That way, you're not spending so much time just going through very tedious formulas, just a lot of multiplication and adding and dividing over and over again. And you can focus instead on the answer and the interpretation there. So that is the first example that I wanted to go through with you guys. And again, it's really up to you the method that you want to use. I strongly encourage technology here, but you don't have to if you find that you'd rather do something different.